However ruined this world has become, however mired in torment and despair life endures, and broken and discarded, the inhabitants of the lands between yearn for a modicum of sympathy. We all need a mother, do we not? Welcome to part 2 of my new series, Oh Mother, where I talk about motherly figures in Elden Ring. Today's topic is Romina, the Saint of the Bud, and honestly, it's not even the cultural implications behind her design that I wanted to discuss today, but the completely new outlook on the concept of rot that her existence brings. Romina is a mysterious creature we find in the Church of Bud in the Ancient Ruins of Rauh. There are no cutscenes for her boss fight, and except for her remembrance and items therein, there are no written or spoken mentions of this person in the lands between. From all we know, Romina is and maybe was from the start the Saint of the Bud. In a church that burned to the ground during Mesmer's crusade, she discovered a twisted divine element, a bud that she weaved into the scarlet rot with the hope that the buds would find somewhere to gain purchase once more. The worship of buds seemed to be prominent within the ancient cultures of the lands between. When it comes to horns, we discover the same concept of budding in the descriptions of many items. The bud's twisted appearance also matches with multiple spiral-shaped designs. The abandoned Church of Bud is most definitely a part of the old civilization where all crucibles were worshipped. Flower Crucible was even meant to be a real thing in the game, but now is a part of COD content. Nonetheless, many canonical lore pieces can lead us to the same conclusion. The worship of buds predates the Greater Will's orders, and existed before the Scarlet Rot blighted these lands. I also want to point out that in the trailer for the DLC, we see Romina on her knees, holding her weapon in the ruins absorbed in fire. These ruins are definitely not the Church of Bud in the Ruins of Rauh. So I proposed the following. There used to be other places of Bud worship, and in one of them Romina might have worked as a priestess. During the crusade, her church was burnt to the ground, and in the fire she embraced the bud, the symbol of her faith, and reached out to the scarlet butterflies, the abandoned envoys of the goddess of Rot, in order to weave the bud with the scarlet rot. Thus did her religion gain followers once again in the Kindred of Rot, and they in turn received a caring mother who fully embraced the metamorphosis of Rot. Hey everyone, it's Editing Me here with additional theory. Originally, I believed Romina's first church was located in Belorad, since in the trailer we can see that it is the very settlement assaulted by Mesmer's armies. However, I've searched everywhere in Belorad Tower settlement and haven't found the place that would have the same background as in Romina's scene. That's why I believe it may have been a part of Inir Elim, any of the destroyed buildings between it and Belorad, or the Temple Town ruins, as those are located in the same area. A very important detail to consider are the crumbled ruins we find nearby. Worshipped by the Kindred of Rot, they are colored bright red, and a bit further in a tiny pool of scarlet rot, we can find the Ash of War, the poison flower blooms twice. What is it if not a reference to Malenia's phrase, the scarlet bloom flowers once more? It leads me to believe that either the ruins we see were Romina's church where she first embraced the scarlet butterflies, and that may be the reason the Kindred of Rot are gathered there, or alternatively, this was the path she took to the Church of Bud in the Ruins of Rauh, leaving everything she touched cursed with rot. So now this trail is sacred for her followers. Let me know what you think and if you were able to locate the place from the trailer, and let's return to the concept of metamorphosis. That's right, in Gowry's own words, the order of rot would have been the cycle of decay and rebirth, and so we can notice that corroded with the scarlet putrescence creatures do not die, but are transformed into completely new beings. The cycle of their transformation reminding us of the metamorphosis in real life. If we look closer at the Kindred of Rot, we can notice many underdeveloped hands growing out of their bodies. Such is the process of transformation for centipedes. As they develop into adult species, they grow more limbs. I believe similar to Romina, the Kindred of Rot used to be humans. They are not intelligent because they are another intelligent race, but because they once were people, priests or sorcerers. A great example would be Gowry, who can create an illusion of a human appearance. From the sage's sad description, we learn that it's a sign that the heretical sage was driven from the town, meaning once the Rot believers used to live in town and wear human clothes. Sir Moore, who is from the words of Sir Ansbach related to the forager brood, is wearing an armor made from the material gifted by an outer god. Like his brethren, he likes foraging and trading with the others, and sharing with us their written knowledge in the form of cookbooks. The fact that we can use those notes implies that they speak the common language used in the lands between. He and Gowry are the only two Kindred of Rot we meet who can still verbally communicate. Once again, this time from Moore, we are being told about the mother that abandoned her children, the goddess of Rot who was supposed to embrace her cursed kin. Could it be that the rotten verdigris armor is the last barrier protecting Moore's humanity before he fully transforms, just like the other foragers he dearly protects? Another detail is an underground burial we can find in Khalid, infested with the Kindred of Rot. Perhaps the infected warriors who perished in the fields of Ionia and went through their transformation into pests in the sealed catacomb. Just like main character from Kafka's Metamorphosis, who woke up to find himself turned into a bug-like creature of no exact origin, those accursed with rot lose their human appearance, but their minds are intact. By the way, some experts compared the narrative in Kafka's story to a metaphor for suffering resulting from leprosy. Others underlined the importance of self-inflicted famishing, the gradual emaciation and self-reduction brought by the main character's unconscious and unsuccessful. Another example of such metamorphosis is of course Malenia, who rejected it all her life, both the final form she would take as a goddess of rot, an angel with rotten wings, a scarlet butterfly born out of the poisonous cocoon, and the Kindred of Rot she abandoned. Wherever her scarlet flower bloomed, rot would burst out. I wonder what transformation did the previous vessel of the outer god of rot went through, one that left a giant scarlet lake of rot in the grounds where they were sealed by the swordsman in blue. The only clue we have to what their form might have been is the ceremonial dagger used by heretics, the believers of the god of rot. Crafted from the vessel of the outer god themselves, it is a part of a scorpion's body. Romina, who willingly accepted the curse, turned into a gargantuan monster, a mix of a scorpion, a centipede, a wasp, a butterfly, and a bud. She is the martyr, the saint, the epitome of all that the scarlet rot can be. Yet she is not the goddess of rot, as Malenia can canonically be very much alive when we step into the lands of shadows. Her form symbolizes both her faith in the bud worship and the new allegiance to the goddess of rot. In real life, we can find different ancient cultures who worshipped similarly shaped creatures. In Mesopotamia, half humanoid, half scorpion creatures were warriors and creations of the goddess Tiamat, one of the earliest creation gods. Even after the battle in which she fell and the earth and the skies were created from the pieces of her body, at least 2 scorpion men survived and later are mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh. In ancient Egypt, goddess Selket, daughter of Ra and the patron of the dead, can be seen depicted as half scorpion. Selket was a protector of the dead's peace. She also guarded the vessels which stored the body's inner organs, and the mummies on which talismans depicting the goddess were found. Generally, the cult of scorpions in Egypt was extremely important, as the underground dwelling creature was believed to be a purifier of the soil that cleaned it from any toxins. As both a purifier and a poison itself, the scorpion was a symbol of rebirth after death. In Japan, Shinchu are the sacred creatures, deities that look like giant insects. They do not attack people, but devour evil spirits that spread diseases and epidemics. As you can see in real life, many similar folklore creatures were associated with positive functions, and so I believe Romina is not necessarily our enemy, but a devoted protector of her faith. And maybe it was exactly the reason the sealing tree was planted in the backyard of the Church of Bud. In a way, we as tarnished need to commit a sin of killing the innocent and becoming the same as Mesmer to proceed in our quest. Innocent people like Romina, who mourned her culture and sought protection in the scarlet rot, turning herself into the saint to comfort the small flock of her followers. Thank you for watching today's video. Please do not forget that it is a series and you can watch the first video about Meter, the Mother of Fingers on my channel. Consider subscribing to not miss new content, and I'll see you in my next video.